Have you ever wondered why some men walk away from the woman who loves deeply, supports endlessly, and carries herself with kindness? The truth may surprise you, because sometimes a good woman is not rejected because she lacks value, but because her value exposes what someone is not ready to face. In this wisdom, you will discover the 7 hidden reasons why some men fail to recognize a good woman, and how a truly wise woman protects her peace, power, and self-worth. Here is my today's promise with you, that I will prove right at the end of this speech. Through these teachings, you will understand that the value of a good woman is never measured by whether everyone recognizes her, but by her ability to remain grounded, wise, and powerful, even when others fail to see her worth. Before we begin, type your country in comment section for the survey of our channel community. Let's get started. Number 1. A good woman requires a level of maturity some men have not developed. A wise person once understands that not everyone has the ability to recognize something valuable when it appears in front of them. A person who has never learned the importance of discipline may see discipline as a burden. A person who has never experienced inner peace may find calmness uncomfortable. And a person who has not developed emotional maturity may struggle to appreciate the depth of a truly good woman. Many people believe that if someone is kind, loyal, supportive, and loving, everyone will automatically value them. But life does not work this way. A beautiful flower can grow in a garden, but a person who does not understand nature may only see dirt around it. The problem is not with the flower. The problem is with the eyes that cannot recognize its beauty. The same happens in relationships. A good woman is not simply someone who gives love. She is someone who carries values. She understands respect. She knows how to communicate. She knows when to be patient and when to protect her own boundaries. She brings stability instead of unnecessary chaos. She does not only ask, "What can I receive?" She also asks, "What can I contribute?" But to appreciate this kind of person requires maturity. A mature man understands that a peaceful relationship is not boring. He understands that loyalty is not something ordinary. He understands that a woman who encourages growth is not trying to control him. She's trying to build something meaningful together. But an immature person may see these qualities differently. He may see a woman with standards as too difficult. He may see a woman with boundaries as too demanding. He may see a woman who wants honesty as creating problems. Why? Because maturity changes the way we see things. A child may prefer a toy that creates the most noise. An adult may appreciate something that has real value. The difference is not the object. The difference is the level of understanding. Many men do not reject a good woman because she lacks something. Sometimes they reject her because they are not prepared for what she represents. A good woman often brings a mirror. And mirrors are uncomfortable for people who do not want to see themselves clearly. When a woman is emotionally stable, she may reveal another person's emotional instability. When she communicates openly, she may reveal someone's habit of avoiding difficult conversations. When she expects honesty, she may reveal someone's connection with excuses. This does not mean she is judging him. Her presence simply creates awareness, and awareness can feel uncomfortable. Imagine someone living in darkness for many years. When a bright light suddenly enters the room, the first reaction may not be happiness. The first reaction may be discomfort. The eyes need time to adjust. The same happens emotionally. A person who has spent years avoiding responsibility may feel uncomfortable around someone who naturally values accountability. A person who has been comfortable with temporary pleasures may struggle with someone who desires a meaningful future. A person who has never worked on himself may feel pressured by someone who constantly reminds him that growth is possible. But the truth is simple. A good woman does not make someone feel small. She simply makes it difficult for someone to continue pretending. This is why emotional maturity matters. Love is not only about finding someone attractive, it is about having the ability to protect, respect, and appreciate what you have found. Many people want a good partner, but they forget that receiving something valuable requires becoming someone capable of handling it. A person may say, "I want someone loyal." But when loyalty requires commitment, patience, and responsibility, they become uncomfortable. A person may say, "I want someone who supports me." But when that support also comes with honest advice and encouragement to improve, they resist. Because sometimes people do not want a good partner. They want a partner who allows them to remain unchanged. And there is a difference. A good woman does not exist to complete someone's unfinished work. She is not here to rescue someone from their own lack of effort. She is not here to constantly sacrifice herself so another person can avoid growth. She can walk beside someone, but she cannot walk someone's path for them. This is an important lesson in life. You cannot force someone to appreciate a value they have not learned to understand. A person who has never trained their mind will not understand the power of discipline. A person who has never controlled their emotions will not understand the strength of patience. And a person who has never developed themselves may not understand the beauty of someone who has. That is why a wise woman does not spend her life begging someone to recognize her worth. She focuses on becoming stronger. She focuses on maintaining her peace. She focuses on becoming the best version of herself. Because true value does not disappear when someone fails to recognize it. A mountain remains a mountain even if someone closes their eyes. A diamond remains a diamond even if someone mistakes it for a stone. The responsibility of a good woman is not to convince everyone of her value. The responsibility is to protect that value. And the responsibility of a mature man is not simply to find a good woman. It is to become the kind of person who can appreciate, respect, and grow with her. Because love without maturity becomes a battlefield. But love with wisdom becomes a place where two people help each other become stronger. And when you understand this, you begin to see another hidden truth. Sometimes the biggest reason someone walks away from a good woman is not because she was difficult to love, but because her presence challenged the parts of themselves they were unwilling to change. 2. Her standards expose the weaknesses they try to hide. A person's standards reveal something deeper than their expectations. They reveal what they believe they deserve. A wise woman understands that standards are not walls built to reject people. Standards are foundations built to protect peace. Many people misunderstand this. They think a woman with standards is someone who expects perfection. But that is not true. A woman with wisdom does not search for a perfect person. She understands that everyone has weaknesses, everyone makes mistakes, and everyone is still learning. But she also understands something important. Mistakes can be accepted, disrespect cannot, growth can be supported, lack of responsibility cannot. A healthy relationship is not built on perfection. It is built on awareness, honesty, and the willingness to improve. But when someone has hidden weaknesses they do not want to confront, they may feel uncomfortable around a person with strong standards. Why? Because standards create clarity. They remove excuses. A woman who values communication will notice avoidance. A woman who values honesty will notice lies. A woman who values consistency will notice empty promises. A woman who values respect will notice disrespect. Her standards do not create the problem. They reveal the problem that was already there. This is why some people are attracted to those with low expectations. Low expectations require less effort. When nobody asks questions, there is no need to explain. When nobody sets boundaries, there is no need to change. When nobody expects growth, there is no pressure to become better. But a good woman often brings a different energy. She says, "Let us communicate. 1. Let us solve problems. Let us become better." And for someone who is ready to grow, this feels inspiring. But for someone who wants comfort without responsibility, this feels threatening. The interesting thing about human behavior is that people often become defensive when something touches a place they are trying to hide. If someone has confidence, your confidence will not offend them. If someone has peace, your peace will not disturb them. If someone has emotional maturity, your standards will not scare them. But if someone carries insecurity, your strength may feel like criticism. A strong woman does not need to attack anyone. Her existence is enough to reveal differences. Think about a clean room. When sunlight enters, it does not create dust. It simply reveals what was already there. The light is not the problem. The hidden dust was always present. A woman's standards can be like that sunlight. They reveal areas where someone needs growth. But instead of accepting the lesson, some people blame the light. They say, "She expects too much," or "She has changed. She is difficult." But sometimes the truth is different. Sometimes she simply stopped accepting what was hurting her. Sometimes she learned that love should not require losing herself. Sometimes she realized that being understanding does not mean allowing everything. A wise woman knows that compassion without boundaries becomes self-destruction. She can forgive, but she does not forget lessons. She can love, but she does not abandon herself. She can support someone, but she does not carry someone who refuses to walk. This is the balance of wisdom. Many people confuse kindness with weakness, but kindness with boundaries is strength. Patience with self-respect is strength. Love with awareness is strength. A good woman does not create standards because she thinks she is better than others. She creates standards because she understands her responsibility toward herself. The body needs protection. The mind needs protection. The heart needs protection. A person who protects their physical health is considered wise. A person who protects their emotional health should also be considered wise. The mistake many people make is thinking that losing a good woman happens suddenly. Usually, it happens slowly. It happens through small moments: a promise broken, a feeling ignored, a boundary crossed, an apology replaced with excuses, a conversation avoided. Over time, a person who constantly ignores value may lose access to that value, not because the good woman stopped caring, but because she finally learned that her peace also matters. The strongest people are not those who never love deeply. The strongest people are those who can love deeply while still respecting themselves. And this is where wisdom begins. You should never reduce your value just to become acceptable to someone who refuses to grow. The right person will not see your standards as a burden. They will see them as a sign that you understand the importance of something meaningful. Because a person who truly values you will not ask, "Why do you have boundaries?" They will ask, "How can I respect them?" And this is the difference between someone who wants your presence and someone who is ready to honor your presence. Because the greatest test of a person's character is not how they treat someone when everything is easy. The greatest test is how they respond when someone's value requires them to rise higher. And that is where we discover the next truth. When a woman protects her peace and refuses to be controlled, some people do not lose interest because she changed. They lose control because she awakened. 3. Some men desire comfort but fear the responsibility of real love. Many people say they want love. They say they want someone who understands them, supports them, stands beside them, and believes in them. But there is a deeper question that many people avoid asking themselves. Are they prepared for the responsibility that comes with receiving real love? Because love is not only a feeling, love is a responsibility. Love is not only about enjoying someone's kindness, it is also about protecting that kindness. Love is not only about receiving someone's loyalty, it is also about becoming someone worthy of that loyalty. A wise person understands that anything valuable requires care. A beautiful garden does not remain beautiful because someone simply admires it. It remains beautiful because someone takes responsibility for watering it, protecting it, and removing what harms it. A relationship works the same way. A good woman often brings warmth, patience, understanding, and stability. But these qualities are not meant to be taken for granted. They are meant to be respected. The problem is that some people love the comfort a good woman provides, but they do not want the responsibility required to maintain that connection. They want the peace, but they do not want to create peace. They want loyalty, but they do not want to practice loyalty. They want forgiveness, but they do not want to change their behavior. They want someone who understands them, but they do not want to understand someone else. This is where many relationships become unbalanced. One person gives from the heart, the other person simply receives. But a relationship cannot survive when one person is always pouring while the other person is only taking. A river can provide water, but even a river needs rain. Without renewal, even the strongest source becomes empty. A good woman is not unlimited energy. She is a human being. She also has emotions. She also has dreams. She also has moments when she needs support. But sometimes people forget this because they become comfortable with what she gives. They become comfortable with her patience. They become comfortable with her forgiveness. They become comfortable with her understanding. And slowly, they stop seeing these qualities as gifts. They start seeing them as expectations. This is one of the greatest mistakes people make. They confuse someone's kindness with their obligation. They think, she will always understand. She will always forgive. She will always stay. But wisdom teaches us something different. Anything valuable that is not respected eventually becomes something you lose. A good woman does not leave because she stops caring. Sometimes she leaves because she finally understands that love should not require her to disappear. She understands that supporting someone does not mean carrying their entire life. She understands that patience does not mean accepting endless pain. She understands that forgiveness does not mean allowing the same wound to happen repeatedly. This is emotional wisdom. Many people want the benefits of a strong partner, but they do not want the discipline required to become a strong partner themselves. They want a peaceful relationship, but they continue bringing unnecessary chaos. They want trust, but they continue hiding the truth. They want respect, but they continue ignoring boundaries. It is simple. You cannot build a peaceful home with a mind that is constantly creating storms. A good woman often represents a higher level of relationship, not because she demands perfection, but because she understands the importance of effort. She knows that two people do not need to be perfect. They need to be willing to listen, willing to improve, willing to admit mistakes, willing to grow together. But some people are not afraid of losing love. They are afraid of what love requires from them. Because real love requires self-awareness. It requires looking at yourself honestly. It requires asking, am I becoming someone who deserves this person? What? This question is uncomfortable because it removes blame. It forces you to stop pointing fingers and start looking within. A person who is immature may say, she expects too much. A mature person may ask, have I been giving enough? The difference is not intelligence. The difference is awareness. A person with awareness understands that a relationship is not a place where someone comes to be completed. It is a place where two complete individuals come together and continue growing. A good woman is not searching for someone to save her. She is searching for someone who can walk beside her, someone who understands that love is not a competition, it is cooperation. But when someone only wants comfort, they often misunderstand this. They see love as a place where they should always feel good. But real love also creates growth. And growth is not always comfortable. A person who trains their body experiences discomfort. A person who trains their mind experiences challenges. A person who builds a meaningful relationship experiences moments where they must change. Growth always asks something from you. And this is why some people run away from good women. Not because the woman is too much, but because becoming better feels like too much. A good woman often holds up a silent invitation. Become the person you are capable of becoming. But not everyone accepts that invitation. Some people prefer someone who allows them to stay exactly where they are. They prefer comfort over transformation. But comfort and growth rarely live in the same place. A person cannot build a stronger life while refusing every challenge. A person cannot create deeper love while avoiding every responsibility. A person cannot receive something valuable while refusing to protect it. This is why a wise woman does not chase someone who only loves what she provides. She watches whether someone values who she is. Because there is a difference between someone loving your presence and someone loving your purpose. One loves what you give, the other respects who you are. And when you understand this difference, you begin to see another powerful truth. Sometimes a person does not fear losing a good woman because they do not value her enough. Sometimes they fear losing her because deep inside, they know they have not yet become the person her love requires. 4. A woman with self-respect cannot be controlled by manipulation. One of the strongest qualities a person can develop is self-respect. Because when someone truly respects themselves, they become difficult to control through fear, guilt, or manipulation. A wise woman understands that love should be a choice, not a prison. She understands that connection should come from appreciation, not from dependency. This does not mean she becomes cold. It means she becomes clear. She can love deeply while still standing firmly. She can care for someone while still caring for herself. She can forgive someone while still remembering her worth. Many people misunderstand self-respect. They think it means being arrogant. They think it means refusing to compromise. But true self-respect is not about thinking you are above others. It is about knowing you should not abandon yourself for others. A tree does not become strong by fighting the wind. It becomes strong because its roots go deeper. A person with self-respect is the same. They are not strong because they never experience pain. They are strong because pain does not destroy their foundation. This is why manipulation loses power over someone who knows their value. Manipulation often works through fear. Fear of being abandoned, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. But when a woman understands her own worth, these fears become weaker. She realizes, someone leaving does not mean I have no value. Someone rejecting me does not mean I am unworthy. Someone failing to appreciate me does not mean I should reduce myself. This understanding creates freedom, and freedom changes relationships. Because a person who chooses you freely is different from someone who keeps you because they control you. Real love needs freedom. Without freedom, there is only attachment. A person who manipulates may try different methods. They may use silence to create fear. They may create guilt. They may make someone question their own feelings. They may make someone believe they are difficult to love. But a wise woman learns to observe actions, not only words. Because words can create illusions. Actions reveal reality. Someone can say, I care about you. But if their behavior repeatedly creates pain, their actions are speaking louder. Someone can say, you are important to me. But if they constantly disrespect boundaries, their behavior tells another story. A woman with self-respect learns this lesson. Love should not require you to constantly prove your worth. The right person will not need you to beg for basic respect. Respect is not a reward, it is the foundation. A person who truly values you does not need to be forced to treat you well. Kindness does not need a reminder. Honesty does not need a demand. Respect does not need a negotiation. This is why a good woman can sometimes appear difficult to someone who is used to control. Because control works best when someone has forgotten their own power. But self-respect awakens that power. A woman with self-respect knows she can walk away from situations that destroy her peace. Not because she does not love, but because she understands that love without respect becomes suffering. She knows that staying somewhere does not always mean strength. Sometimes leaving requires greater courage. Sometimes the strongest decision is not holding on. Sometimes the strongest decision is releasing what no longer honors your value. A wise person does not hold onto a broken branch simply because it was once part of a beautiful tree. They understand that letting go can create space for new growth. The same applies to relationships. A good woman does not need to become smaller to make someone comfortable. She does not need to silence her thoughts to avoid conflict. She does not need to ignore her feelings to keep someone close. Because a relationship built on self-abandonment is not true love. It is a slow loss of identity. And a person who loses themselves while trying to keep someone else eventually loses both. The greatest relationship is not between two people who complete each other. It is between two people who respect each other enough to remain whole. A woman with self-respect brings this energy. She says, I want you, but I do not need to lose myself for you. I love you, but I also honor myself. Or I support you, but I will not destroy myself trying to save you. This is not selfishness, this is wisdom. Because the healthiest love is not built by two people who are afraid to lose each other. It is built by two people who choose each other while knowing they can still stand alone. And when someone meets a woman who has this level of awareness, they face a powerful choice. They can rise and meet her with maturity. Or they can walk away because her strength reminds them of the parts of themselves they still need to develop. And this reveals the next truth. When a woman stops seeking approval and starts protecting her inner peace, her presence changes completely, because the strongest person in the room is often the one who no longer needs to prove their worth. 5. Her inner peace makes insecure people feel uncomfortable. There is a quiet power that does not need to announce itself. It does not need to compete. It does not need to prove. It simply exists. This power is inner peace. A person who has found peace within themselves carries a different energy. They do not react to every situation. They do not chase every opinion. They do not allow every word to disturb their balance. And this kind of strength can make certain people uncomfortable. Why? Because peace reveals what chaos tries to hide. A person who is constantly fighting with themselves may feel confused when they meet someone who is calm. A person who depends on drama may feel uncomfortable around someone who chooses understanding. A person who seeks control may feel threatened by someone who cannot easily be emotionally shaken. A good woman who has developed inner peace becomes powerful because she no longer depends on someone else to decide her worth. She knows who she is, she knows what she brings, she knows what she will accept. And this creates a different kind of confidence. Not the confidence that says, I am better than everyone. But the confidence that says, I know myself and I do not need to lose myself to be accepted. This is a very important difference. Many people spend their lives searching for validation. They want others to tell them they are enough. They want others to confirm their beauty. They want others to confirm their importance. But a wise woman slowly learns that external approval is temporary. Today someone may praise you. Tomorrow someone may criticize you. If your identity depends on people's opinions, your peace will always be controlled by others. But when your foundation comes from within, you become stable. Like a mountain, the weather changes, the seasons change, the wind becomes stronger. But the mountain remains. This is the kind of strength that many people do not understand. Because society often teaches people to chase attention, but wisdom teaches people to build character. A woman with inner peace does not need to create competition with other women. She does not need to prove that she is more attractive. She does not need to show that she is more valuable. She understands that her worth is not reduced because someone else shines. A candle does not lose its light because another candle is burning. A tree does not become smaller because another tree grows taller. Everything has its own nature. Everything has its own journey. This understanding creates peace. But sometimes this peace creates discomfort in others, especially those who are used to emotional control. A person who depends on arguments may become frustrated when someone refuses to argue. A person who tries to create jealousy may become confused when someone refuses to react. A person who tries to create insecurity may become powerless when someone knows their value. This is why emotional maturity is so important. The strongest person is not always the loudest person. Sometimes the strongest person is the one who can remain calm when everything around them is trying to create chaos. A good woman does not win because she fights every battle. She wins because she understands which battles deserve her energy. Energy is life. Where you place your attention is where you place your power. If you constantly give your energy to anger, jealousy, comparison, and fear, you weaken yourself. But if you invest your energy into growth, wisdom, health, and peace, you strengthen yourself. A wise woman understands this. She knows not every comment deserves an answer. Not every disagreement deserves a reaction. Not every person deserves access to her emotions. This is not coldness, this is awareness. A person who has peace does not become peaceful because life became easy. They become peaceful because they trained their mind. They learn to observe before reacting. They learn to understand before judging. They learn to breathe before speaking. This is a form of inner discipline, and discipline creates freedom. When your emotions control you, you are not free. When someone else's behavior controls your mood, you are not free. When someone's approval controls your confidence, you are not free. Freedom begins when you take responsibility for your own inner state. This is why some men feel uncomfortable around a woman with deep inner peace. Because she cannot be easily manipulated through fear. She cannot be easily controlled through emotional pressure. She cannot be easily convinced that she is less valuable than she truly is. Her peace becomes her protection. But this does not mean she becomes unreachable. A peaceful person is not someone who does not care. A peaceful person often cares more deeply. They simply understand that love does not require losing balance. They can love someone without allowing that person to destroy their stability. They can support someone without becoming responsible for every problem. They can forgive someone without accepting repeated harm. This is emotional wisdom. The mistake many people make is thinking that a strong woman is someone who never needs anyone. That is not true. A strong woman can appreciate love. She can enjoy connection. She can welcome support. But she does not come from emptiness. She comes from wholeness. She does not say, "Complete me. Be." She says, "Walk with me." This creates a healthier relationship. Because two people who are whole can build something powerful together. But two people who are trying to use each other to fill their emptiness often create suffering. A woman with inner peace reminds others of a truth they may not want to face. No one outside of you can create the peace you refuse to build inside yourself. And this truth can be uncomfortable because it removes excuses. It reminds people that their happiness is also their responsibility. A peaceful woman is not dangerous because she wants to hurt anyone. She is powerful because she cannot easily be controlled. And when someone cannot control her, they must either respect her or reveal their true intentions. Because peace has a way of exposing people. It shows who appreciates calmness. It shows who only feels comfortable with confusion. It shows who wants connection, and it shows who only wants control. This is why the presence of a good woman can become a lesson for others. She does not need to teach through words. Her way of living becomes the teaching. Her patience becomes the teaching. Her boundaries become the teaching. Her peace becomes the teaching. And when someone encounters a woman who has reached this level of self-awareness, they face a choice. They can grow alongside her, or they can walk away because her peace reminds them of the inner work they have avoided. And this leads us to a deeper truth. The greatest value of a good woman is not only what she gives to others, it is the strength she carries within herself, which cannot be taken away by anyone. 6. The right woman is not always recognized by the wrong mindset. One of the deepest lessons in life is this. Something valuable is not always recognized by everyone. Recognition depends on awareness. A person can stand in front of greatness and still fail to see it, not because greatness is missing, but because their understanding is limited. A person who does not understand art may look at a masterpiece and see only colors. A person who does not understand music may hear a beautiful song and hear only sound. A person who does not understand love may meet a good woman and only see what she cannot provide. This is the difference between seeing and understanding. Many people look at relationships through their own level of awareness. Someone with a mature mindset sees loyalty as a blessing. Someone with an immature mindset may see loyalty as something they can take advantage of. Someone with wisdom sees honesty as valuable. Someone with insecurity may see honesty as criticism. Someone with emotional maturity sees boundaries as respect. Someone with a controlling mindset sees boundaries as rejection. The same person can be viewed completely differently depending on who is looking. This is why a good woman is not always recognized immediately. Her value requires understanding, and understanding requires growth. A person who only looks at the surface may focus on appearance. They may focus on excitement. They may focus on temporary feelings. But a wise person looks deeper. They ask, does this person bring peace? Does this person encourage growth? Does this person have integrity? Does this person make life better? Because real value is often found beneath the surface. A good woman is not only someone who smiles when things are easy, she is someone who remains strong when life becomes difficult. She is someone who communicates when problems appear. She is someone who chooses respect even during disagreement. She is someone who understands that love is not only an emotion, it is a practice. But some people do not recognize these qualities because they are searching for something different. They are searching for excitement without stability. They are searching for attention without commitment. They are searching for comfort without responsibility. And when they encounter someone who offers real value, they may not appreciate it. Not because the value is missing, but because their priorities are different. A person looking for temporary pleasure may not appreciate permanent peace. A person looking for control may not appreciate independence. A person looking for someone to depend on may not appreciate someone who stands strong. This is why a wise woman does not measure her worth by someone's inability to recognize her. A diamond does not become less valuable because someone chooses a piece of glass instead. The mistake many people make is allowing someone else's misunderstanding to become their own insecurity. They think, if they did not choose me, maybe I am not enough. But wisdom says, someone's inability to see your value does not remove your value. A person may reject something because they do not understand it. That does not mean the thing lacks worth. This lesson applies beyond relationships. Many great ideas were rejected before they were understood. Many successful people were doubted before they were respected. Many strong individuals were ignored before they were recognized. The world does not always recognize value immediately, so a wise person learns patience. They continue developing. They continue growing. They continue becoming stronger. Because the goal is not to convince everyone. The goal is to become someone who respects themselves regardless of who understands them. A good woman does not spend her life standing at a door waiting for someone to finally appreciate her. She continues walking. She continues building. She continues becoming. Because the right person will not need to be convinced of her value. They will recognize it naturally. They will not see her standards as a problem. They will see them as evidence of wisdom. They will not see her independence as a threat. They will see it as strength. They will not see her peace as distance. They will see it as something precious. The right mindset recognizes the right person. This is why finding the right relationship is not only about meeting the right person. It is also about becoming the right person. Because two people can meet at the wrong time. Two people can meet with different levels of awareness. Two people can meet with different levels of emotional maturity. And sometimes the lesson is not that someone was not valuable. The lesson is that they were standing in front of someone who was not ready to understand their value. A wise woman does not become bitter because someone failed to appreciate her. She becomes wiser. She understands that her mission is not to be accepted by everyone. Her mission is to remain true to herself. Because the person who knows their own worth does not beg others to see it. They simply continue living it. And this is the final wisdom. The greatest victory of a good woman is not making everyone recognize her value. The greatest victory is reaching a place where she recognizes her own value so deeply that no one else's inability to see it can ever take it away. Here is my promise fulfilled right. A good woman's value was never shown by whether everyone recognized her. Through these lessons, we discovered that her true power comes from her maturity, standards, self-respect, inner peace, and the wisdom to never abandon herself for someone's approval. The right person will not need to be convinced of her worth. They will recognize her value because they have developed the mindset to appreciate it. A good woman does not become less valuable when someone fails to see her. She simply becomes a reminder that true worth comes from within.